Hey, Michael Mike's Bags. Today I'm breaking down the hybrid bracket for the Big Ass Cornhole Podcast Best of the Bags. If you're not aware, this is like a March Madness tournament that Big Ass Cornhole Podcast runs every year. There's 3 brackets. I've already broke down the slow and the fast bracket. This is now the hybrid bracket. I will say that the term slow, fast, hybrid are kind of loose terms, so don't get too caught up if you see a hybrid bag in another bracket, or you see a slow bag in the fast bracket or something like that. It's just a way they can differentiate the brackets. The other 2 brackets had 64 teams in them for both of those. This one only has 32. If you want to know more about it, go download the episode. I think it's episode 215, the one that I was on the Big Ass Cornhole Podcast. Be a link description. Go check it out. Sean breaks down the brackets, talks about how it's going to work. All the voting starts on Monday, February 19th. It's on the Big Ass Cornhole Podcast Facebook page. Link description to their Facebook page, link description to the podcast. So if you want to go download the episodes, make sure you give them subscribe on their podcast as well as a like on their Facebook page. You guys will be voting for these bags. So the Big Ass will be putting up the different matchups every day. They'll put in a handful of matchups every day. You guys will vote on them, so you get to choose which bags move on. It's by popular vote. It's by, whatever method you want to use to pick, you guys choose, and then the bags each advance, and this will take place over the course of several weeks as we go through. I mentioned in my slow bracket, I'm going to do a giveaway if one of the bags that I drafted. So if you want to know who I drafted, go listen to the episode 215, the one that I was on, where Sean, Dan, and I actually did a partial draft for the first third of the bags or so in the brackets here. If one of the bags I drafted wins the whole thing, wins the entire tournament, I will give away a set of those bags. I'll try to do maybe a custom set, depending on who it is, for one of you guys. So if one of mine wins, then I'll do a giveaway on my channel here for a set of those bags. So that makes sense. So you'll want to know what bags I drafted, so you'll know who to vote for in this bracket. But anyway, let's go ahead, dive in. We're going to break down this hybrid bracket here. We'll start over here with the first one. I got the Viper R going against the Breezy Rook, and I got the Viper R moving on. The Viper R is a hugely popular bag. I just don't see the Rook being able to beat him out there. Second round, and this is already a tough matchup here. Honestly, because there's only 32 bags in here, there are a lot of tough matchups in the first round. There'll be a lot of great bags that are going to get eliminated in the first round, and there's some really difficult decisions you guys are going to have to make. But we got Armite versus the Hyper Drip. As I did in the other brackets, the blue is my heart pick, red is my head. My heart says I want the Armite to win. Like, I'm pulling for these smaller companies. I would love to see only smaller companies win this whole thing, and it's very possible to happen. It's happened before. Killer Bees makes some incredible bags. The Armite is their version of Viper R. It's a great bag. If you ever have a chance to throw it, you'll probably love it. So my heart wants the Armite to go. My head says the Hyper Drip. I think Fire's just got a bigger following. More people are going to look at the matchup and say, I know who Fire is. I don't know who Killer Bees is, and they're going to vote that way. So head says Hyper Drip, heart says Armite. Then we have the AAR Ripper versus the Apex Summit. Ripper is just a hugely popular bag right now. I think the Ripper's moving on. We Blaze from Flying Dirty against the WTF Foxtrot. I got the Foxtrot moving on there. WTF has a very loyal following that I think are going to show up for this. Buffalo Sauce against a Rebel Crook. I got the Sauce moving on there. The Big Mag Bags Obedient versus the Swag Bags Chaos. If you've watched any of my videos or whatever, the Chaos is one of my favorite bags. Absolutely love that bag. I'm moving the Chaos onto the Sweet 16 there. Then we have the Sub-Zero Wintertide against the HL Board Co. Rain. Tough one for me here because both bags, great bags, similar bags, very, very similar bags. I'm putting the Wintertide there just because I think being an ACL stamped bag, they're more popular, more people know about them than maybe the Rain. So I'm putting the Wintertide there. I would not be shocked to see the Rain. Honestly, I wouldn't be upset to see the Rain there. I think either one of those great bags. It's tough that they're meeting in the first round here, but I'm putting the Wintertide through. And then here's a really, really huge matchup, and this could shake things up. So the Underworld Clones versus the Dirty Dragon Power Dragons, and I'm moving the Power Dragons on only because that's a very popular bag right now. Dragon Bags has been around a long in Underworld. Underworld's kind of a newer company. They're making some big waves in the ACL bag market. I love what they're doing, especially love their pricing. I wish they weren't facing up against a bigger, more popular bag like the Power Dragon in the first round, because I think the clones could advance on. Not saying they can't now, but I just think the following of a Dragon Bags is going to push that Power Dragon on. So I'm moving the Power Dragon on there. Hate to see the clones lose in the first round, but that's probably what's going to happen. Then we'll go back through here at the top. We got the Viper R versus the Armite or the Hyper Drip. I think either one of those are going to lose to the Viper R. I'm moving the Viper R on into the Elite 8. We have the Ripper versus the Foxtrot 2.0, moving the Ripper on there. And I'm only doing that because I think if AAR gets behind this and brings out their star power, they've got a lot of elite pros throwing their bags. If they bring their star power into this, the Ripper can go a long ways. As you'll see here, I've got them going quite a bit of ways through here. I think the Ripper can make some ways. It just depends on whether AAR actually cares about this or not. So Ripper moving on there. Sauce versus the Chaos. This is one where my heart wants the Chaos. My head says Sauce. I think Buffalo's has a bigger following, a little more popular than Swag Bags is, although the Chaos is a phenomenal bag. I would be okay with either one of those, but my heart says Chaos. I'm following that. And then Power Dragon versus Wintertide. I got the Power Dragon moving on there. Now we're going into moving 2 bags into the final 4. Viper R versus the Ripper. This is where I'm calling the upset. I think, again, if AAR gets behind this and brings out their pros, they can easily beat the Viper R. And I think there's a lot of I know there's a lot of anti-Ultra people out there that are just going to vote against them because they don't like Ultra. And if they join forces with these AAR supporters, the Ripper's moving on. So I'm putting the Ripper in the final 4. Chaos or Sauce versus the Power Dragons. Here's where, honestly, in my mind, I didn't really do this. Like in my heart, I want the Chaos. I just love that Chaos. I haven't thrown the Power Dragon, so part of me is like, I really can't judge that bag very fairly. I know I love the Chaos. I want that there in the final 4. I think if the Chaos is matching with Power Dragon, I think the Power Dragon would probably beat them because of the following there. Don't know. But my head says that the Sauce is there. I think the Sauce beats out the other 2 bags, so the Sauce would win. So my head still says Sauce. My heart says Chaos. That's where I'm going right there. And then let's go over to the other bracket before we go into the final. So that's the final 4, Ripper and Chaos or Sauce final 4. The other side of the bracket here, we got the Elite Pro Snipers or Pro Sniper Elites. I don't know which way. I don't know which way it's actually supposed to be. I think I did Elite Pro Snipers on mine, so I think that's how it is on the website. But I've seen it listed as Pro Sniper Elites too. So anyway, the Elite Pro Snipers versus the Gravity Ambition. The Elite Pro Snipers move on there. NFQ AWOLs against Reynolds Thunder. Again, I mentioned this before, NFQ makes some great bags, and because they're not stamped, I don't think enough people know about them. If you're looking to find some good bags that people don't know about, great bags, go check out NFQ. Really, go check out NFQ. The AWOLs, the Nightmare X's, the Slangs. I mean, they've got a ton of great bags out there. I love what NFQ is doing. I think once people learn about them, and this is a great way to promote them. Once you start learning about them, you get some of their bags in your hands, you're going to fall in love with them too. So my heart, I really think I want the AWOL to win, and I think if you had the Thunder and the AWOL in your hands, very similar bags, I think most people would go for the AWOL if you didn't know what you were throwing, just base the bags on performance. But Reynolds has a huge following, and I wouldn't be upset to see the Thunder go on there. My head says the Thunder's moving on because of Reynolds support, but I would love to see the AWOL again, another small company, move on to the next round there. Then we have the Black Sheep Costello X versus the Cold Blooded, which I believe is Gator Bags. I think is who the Cold Blooded is through. I don't know anything about that bag at all, so I'm moving the Costello X. I think Black Sheep's got a pretty good following, so they're going to vote that Costello X through. Then we have this is another one that it's the Crazy 8 Hibernator, had a tough draw against the B3 Coyote. If you're looking to support a small company, one of these non-stamp companies, go check out Crazy 8. Got a lot of great bags going on there, but the B3 Coyote is, again, one of my favorite bags, one of my go-to bags. I can't not advance that on there, so I'm moving the Coyote through. Then we have the Killshot Wolverines against the 724 Project 5. This is going to be an interesting matchup because 724 can make some noise if their supporters come out in full force and they can move that Project 5 on. The Wolverine is... So if I was just basing this on bag performance, and that's kind of what I did here, that's why I picked the Wolverine. The Wolverine is a phenomenal bag. Love that bag. If that bag was priced at like $100 or under, $80 to $100 for that Wolverine, it would be the most popular bag on the ACL, hands down, no question. Like, just an awesome bag. The problem is Killshot priced it so high that a lot of players aren't willing to spend the money to get a set, and I don't blame them. It's hard for me to recommend a $150 bag when there's an $80 bag that's pretty close to being the same to it. And so I think that pricing is really going to hurt Killshots here. But I want to move the Wolverine on just because of the two. I feel like the Wolverine is the better bag, so I'm putting the Wolverine on. Then we have the Goated Bambino against the Nova Snapper. Again, the Bambino, I just got a set in not too long ago. I haven't really thrown them much. I've thrown them a few times. They're great bags, so I can tell. It's kind of that Viper R clone. But you see so many of those bags. The thing about the Nola Snapper is it's a completely different bag. Dude, that slow side is so unique. It's very refreshing to get a bag that is different, and it plays great. It plays a little different. So I'm moving that Nola on. I just think that uniqueness of that bag makes it a bag that I kind of want to advance on. And I that just, it sucks that the Goated's got to lose that first round, or that I'm putting him down there. But somebody's got to lose. And then the next one is probably the toughest one I had. I went back and forth. I actually ended up flipping a coin here. We got the Southwest Hefe against the Cornslingers Carbon. Two great bags. I really love both these bags. I reviewed them both. They're phenomenal bags. I think, and I'm speculating, I think Southwest has a bigger following, so I'm putting the Southwest Hefe as the head pick. I flipped a coin, the Carbon won, so that's kind of why I advanced the Carbon through and then made the head pick the Hefe. Honestly, I really couldn't make a decision here. I don't know when it comes time to vote. I don't know which one I'm voting for there, but we'll see. It's a great matchup. They're two great bags. I would love to see both of them really advance on and make a run this tournament. And then we have the Haggard Creeper versus the Brotherhood Guardian. Look, that Guardian is a phenomenal bag. Brotherhood is really growing, becoming very popular, and that bag is one of their more popular bags for their elite and pro players. So I'm moving the Guardian on through there. Back up, we have the Elite Pro Snipers versus the AWOL or the Thunder. I just think Lucky's too big to lose that round, so I'm moving Elite Pro Sniper through there. I'd love to see the AWOL advance there. I just think that's too big of an ask. Costello X versus the Coyote. I would love to see the Coyote. Of the two bags, I like the Coyote better than the Costello X, but I think Black Sheep probably has a bigger following, so my head says Costello X, heart says Coyote. And then we have the Wolverine versus the Snapper. This is another one where I just love that uniqueness of the Snapper. It's very refreshing to see some different materials. I love that NOLA does that with their bags with the unique material. So I'm moving the Snapper on over the Wolverine. Wouldn't be surprised to see the Wolverine go through there. Again, if the Project 5 makes it past the Wolverine, I could see them as well, but my heart's pushing the Snapper through. And then I've got the Carbon or the Hefe versus the Guardian. I just think Brotherhood that Guardian is just very popular right now, and I just see that moving on. Now, we're going to move two bags into the final four here. So we have the Elite Pro Sniper versus the Coyote or the Costello X. I'm moving the Elite Pro Sniper through. Again, Lucky, huge following, a lot of supporters. I think they're going to show up. They've showed up in the past for this tournament. I think they're going to show up again and move that Elite Pro Sniper into the final four. Snapper versus Guardian. I think this is where NOLA's run ends with the Snapper, and not because it shouldn't go on, but I think that Guardian has just got a bigger following. Both great bags. We're moving that Guardian on. And then final four, I'm going to go over here. We got the Ripper versus the Chaos, the Sauce. I think either one that makes there, I think the Ripper goes on. I would love to see the Chaos go there. Again, of all those bags that I've thrown, that Chaos would be the first one I would pick. My favorite is three. And that's not a knock on the Ripper or the Sauce as much as that's how much I like that Chaos bag. But my head, and even my heart, maybe I should have done a heart pick with the Chaos, but I got the Ripper going on because, again, if AR gets behind this and brings up the stars, they're moving on there. And then the Elite Pro Snipers versus the Guardians. Maybe a little bit of an upset here. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Lucky fans push that Elite Pro Sniper through and all the way through to the championship of this bracket. They can do it. I'm just curious, and I think the Brotherhood following on that Guardian is going to move that bag through here, so I'm sticking with that, and we're going to go with the Guardian. And then in the championship game, I have the Ripper versus the Guardian, and I got the Guardian winning it. More of a gut, I don't know, I could see any one of like 10 bags in this whole bracket winning the whole thing. I really could, and I wouldn't be shocked if that happened. But I got the Guardian there. I don't know, is that really an upset? There are 2 seeds. Not really a big upset if a 2 seed wins the tournament. The Ripper is a 5 seed, maybe a little bit more bigger upset. The Ripper made it to the final, but the Guardians there, maybe not. I don't know. I got the Guardians win it all. So drop a comment down below. Let me know who you think is going to win this bracket, and I would love to hear your final four. What are your final 4 teams? And who's winning it all? So in the description is a link to the Big Ass Cornhole podcast as well as our Facebook page. Go subscribe to their podcast, download episode 215, the one where I was on, where Sean, Dan, and I drafted these brackets so you'll know which bags to vote for, so you can get a chance to win a set of bags if one of mine wins that, as well as make sure you like their Facebook page, because that's where the matchups are going to be posted and take place starting Monday, February 19th, and every day after that they'll be putting up new matchups. Make sure you go there and vote on all of them. I think there's 4 or 5 a day they put up. Again, episode 215, Sean talks a little more about the details, how that's going to work. They'll have information on the Facebook page as well. So all the stuff you need is through the Big Ass Cornhole Facebook page or podcast. You'll have information in there. But definitely go support them. If you like my content, you'll love theirs as well. I thank you guys so much for the support, and I thank you for watching.